This is going to be the single most important video I do all year, and I want to share it with you as a taste of what's inside this community, because of the fact that this is not only applicable for literally anybody who is an entrepreneur, a B2B, a consultant, a solopreneur, a SaaS, anybody who sells something online is an entrepreneur and wants internet money. This is applicable, and I make this for you. And this is inside my school community, Schools Out. Let's talk first about what business is and the essentials of business. Number two, the 4 pillars of essentially price, but what all business is, the lifeblood of business, which is money in. We'll talk about money in, the 4 pillars of money. And then third, essentially the way of scale. And I'll make that really quick, as the majority of this conversation, like the hook, the story, and then the offer, the real, the body of this conversation is gonna be in the 4 pillars. And I'm gonna absolutely go into detail on those. And this is gonna be rant style. Number one, what is business? Business is, let me start by saying I've been in business for 8+ years. I started and co-founded with 2 business partners from 2018 to 2023, literally before I left in December, an $8 million venture at the time of me relinquishing equity in December of 2023. It's probably up to 10 now without me. I have 4 new startup ventures that I currently run and operate on top of Schools Out. I've got a lot of experience, and I listen to Hermosi all day, which is the GOAT as well. So a lot of this may sound Hermosi-esque as well. What is business? Business is 2 metrics and 2 data points. It's money in and it's eyeballs. When you have a way to get money in, ABC for XYZ, congratulations, you're an entrepreneur and you have a way to get money. Everything in our economy is a transactional system. Value to dollars, dollars to value. I am giving you money, I'm getting groceries. I am giving you a car at the dealership, you're giving me money. Whatever it is, there's consumers and producers, but the lifeblood and the category of everything as it relates to business in what I call the take economy, which I do videos on, but more importantly, capitalistic society in a transactional ecosystem of the economy, money flows like a current, hence the word currency. Money, currency, current. Money in is the lifeblood of anybody selling anything in the entrepreneurial or business space. Money in and eyeballs. So once you have the oxygen, which is literally money coming in, how do you get more eyeballs and get seen and literally make it known to the world, I exist and my offer exists? Through the 4 pillars that every single business needs to hit to an extraordinary amount. And I mean to the point where if you don't do all 4 of these and master all 4, this is why you have a hard time making money, launching the business, performing in the business, scaling the business, whatever would have you. You have to get these 4 down, tattoo them on the back of your hand. The first one is, and let me start with saying the difference between advertising, marketing, and sales. Advertising is the ability at which you let people know that you and your offer and your services exist. Marketing is the presentation and the overall wrapper and frame of context on how you let them know you exist, how you advertise, and then, which is marketing. And then number 3 is sales, selling, and closing, if you want to throw that in there, is what you have to do a lot more of when you fuck up the first 2. And what gets inextricably on a continuum, as Hermosi would say, so much easier to do when you think of advertising, marketing, and sales as all sales. The whole process is sales, and any way you present yourself, to the way you talk, to the way you dress, to your posture, anything, to the way you communicate, to the way your brand communicates, and your products. So again, advertising, letting people know you and your offer exists. Marketing is the presentation, sex appeal, and overall wrapper of how you let them know you exist, aka your advertising. Number 3, sales and selling is what you have to do more of when you mess up those 2, and what you have to do less of and gets easier in time when you master the first 2. Master all 3, and you literally become a money printing digital asset, your company, and you are going to be able to close everybody, keep them, retain them, and essentially just apply to what's called scaling your company and just doing more of and better of what's currently working than if a constraint pops up, fixing the constraint to do more of and better of what's already working. So the 4 pillars of money, price, and essentially what every single business needs to pay attention to, starting with the 3 I just mentioned, but more in depth. Advertising is simply letting people know that you and your offer exist. I am a consultant. I have coaching sessions, I have masterminds, I have this is my offer, I do one-on-ones, I do 10 people in a ballroom, I have physical products, I have digital products on an Etsy store, whatever it is, advertising, hey, billboard of me, I exist, I have an offer, come to me. This is what is called traffic. The first pillar is traffic, AKA advertising. How do I reach more people? By basically advertising that I exist. Number two, pillar number two, conversions. What are conversions? Essentially, a lead, a prospect, a client, a passerby, any visitor to your sites, landing pages, to your ads, to your paid content, to be a follow first and then a buyer later, take them through a funnel. Whatever, what have you, conversions is the ability to convert someone who's a non-buyer into being a buyer, AKA the second thing that I mentioned. After you do advertising, marketing, having good landing pages, a good hook, a good story, a grand slam offer, having really good content that does CTAs, that directs them to a free this, an opt-in here, a lead magnet, the ability once advertised to then market and dress everything up with sexy sex appeal presentation, the overall wrapper of how everything from point A to point Z is clearly, meticulously, and provides so much clarity of what they're going to get, what the perceived value is going to be if they buy, and what you've done for past clients and what you're going to do for them, the conversions through social proofing, testimonials, 5-star ratings, blasting it everywhere. Again, let's talk about the first two in detail. And I already am, but I want to keep reiterating because this is how it's going to really sink in. Advertising, I exist. Marketing, I exist. But let me tell you how, why, and what you're going to get by knowing that I exist. Boom. What's the third? Third is essentially price, but it's really sales and selling and closing and the ability to charge as much as humanly possible that is predicated on a balance of value towards what you're selling at what price point. Meaning, if the value is super stacked over here and the price is low, easy sell. If the value is down here and about equidistant or where the price is, then you're going to get some sales. But if the value is too low and the price is too much, you have a major discrepancy from price to value in the wrong direction. Hence the fourth pillar, which is churn and or client experience. So if we go back to pillar number 3, when we're talking about price, sales, selling, and closing, you need to be able to set and present, and actually, if you have a sales team, sell that specific price as it relates to the discrepancy in value, the upheaval in value, or basically the detriment at no value, and without churning too much. So the more you rise prices, the more you might churn if the value doesn't make up for those increase in prices. So the whole point about this is I exist, this is how I exist, this is what you can expect. I charge this much because, and maybe at a premium because maybe you might be a category of 1, but because my value is so high and I'm going to do the pillar number 4 so efficiently and so good and so correctly that people aren't going to leave and they're not going to churn out, which completely destroys, knife wounds, and then throat slashes in time, the bottom line, revenue and the lifeblood, the oxygen of what every business needs, money in. See where we're getting at? Money in and visibility. Money in, eyeballs. Money in, get seen. That's business. 4 pillars: advertising, marketing, sales, price, and then churn, which is, let's talk about this one, client experience. Most people, most new entrepreneurs who are very green, do not understand how important client management is, how important onboarding is, and how unbelievably important retention is until you have a product that works, it's good, but once the client or the prospect or the new buyer gets in your community, gets in your funnel, gets in your SaaS, gets in your platform, gets in whatever, they have a really hard time, get confused, which you never want to buy or confused, and then opt out for a refund, a chargeback. Don't buy your upsells. Don't leave you a good review, which is going to increase word of mouth. You see where this is going? Number 4, after sales, client experience, which is inevitably linked to churn. The better the onboarding, the more clarity, the better the baton pass from sales to client management to support to the better the trust is, the better they feel. Remember, at the end of the day, people don't remember what you did. They remember the way you made them feel. This is why when you think of your ex-girlfriend 13 years ago and a song plays, you feel the time back then. It's because you're not remembering, like, maybe she cheated on me. Well, maybe you are, but that's probably a bad example. But the point is how you feel about that life event, that situation, that cereal box ad, your community, the school community. How does a client feel in the first 24 to 48 hours of their first impression, which is the new purchase, the new buy? I just got in the community and now I'm left to my own devices. And if they don't charge back, if they don't refund, their experience was only good enough to stay 1 month or 1 year if they bought an annual and not renew, or not upsell, sell to the next package, like monthly, quarterly, annual, lifetime, mastermind, whatever, what have you. Churn is a hole in the bucket in business. And in any business, and this is the third thing I want to talk about in this video, any business that is already doing something really well, a great product, a great client onboarding, a great retention, a great delivery, a great do more of it, do a better job, and then when and if a constraint pops up, you fix the constraint because it's a hole in the bucket that affects everything, what's coming in to what's flowing out, what's coming in to what's flowing out. CAC to LTV, cost to acquire a customer might be cheap, lifetime value might be high. Go crazy on ads, go crazy on paid marketing, go crazy and double and triple down until a constraint shows itself, rears its ugly head, almost like a hydra with a new head. And you're like, we don't want that head. You gotta cut it off. You gotta fix the hole in the bucket, or people are gonna churn out, and then all the money in the sales team and the ad spend or whatever might get wasted because it's money right in to money right out because that hole in the bucket. So you do not want to go crazy on paid ads or whatever until your churn is nipped in the bud, ideally under 10%, under 5%, 3 to 5% if you're an absolute demigod of business. The whole point is business is money in. Then it's visibility. Visibility and the overall process of business is advertising what you have, presenting it, marketing it in a way that's beautiful, desirable, intrigue, big desire, trust, social proof, all of that, relatable. I was where you were in your shoes. I thought I was going to lose it all, but then I found the solution to your problem. Marketing, right? Conversions, and then price. How much can I charge based on the value that I provide? Category of 1, selling at a premium, keeping that super high so people don't churn out. And then actual churn in client experience so they really don't churn out, because that's actually what that's focused on, like with a magnifying glass on it. Client experience A to Z is great. They feel like they have trust. They feel relatability. They feel like they have a friendship, a camaraderie, a family if it's community. The product works. We showed you how to use the product. They're not confused. A confused buyer is a non-buyer. A confused passerby is just a visitor. And a confused anything is not even a follow. Confusion destroys. Even if they're not confused in the initial buy, when they're confused in the community, guess what you lost out on? Here's the cost conundrum of everything you just lost out on a buyer who's confused once they buy. You ready? And we're not even talking about the people that are confused on your landing page and website that don't even buy. We're talking about the people that actually buy. They come in to your company, to your community, to whatever, and they churn out quickly because they're confused. You lost out on, this is the cost conundrum, the opportunity cost. You lost out on a happy customer, word of mouth, them telling 5 people, and then those 5 people telling 20 people, and then those, right? Good reputation, a review that you could have used as social proof on all that from a happy customer, no upsells because they don't even stay, renew, and or buy the next tiered product, and essentially at the risk of a bad review, which then spreads bad word of mouth to 5 people and then to 20 other people. And then articles are written about you, how you're a scammer or this and that, whatever, that your product doesn't work and you have a bad reputation. To have a customer be unhappy and or confused is the detriment of your business. And to not be able to, because you're scared, because you're shy, because you don't like the camera, because you're a little too afraid to speak, and to not advertise to every single buddy all day and 10x the volume and 10x the content to then 10x the leads, which 10x's your sales because it's lifeblood and it's conversions if done right. And it's money in through hook, story, and offer, and compelling desire that you're going to create, like Frodo the One Ring, like my precious, my precious. You want your leads salivating on everything you have to offer, but you don't want them confused. And once they get inside the community because they already purchased, now you want them even happier than as excited they were as getting to the offer on your landing page, your website, your funnel, your webinar, whatever, what have you. You need to make sure that you are hitting all of these. And then when you do, like I said, have all this taken care of and you have a system that works, more of it, better of it, and then when a constraint rears its ugly head, you fix that constraint immediately. And as Alex Hermosi would say, as a lot of these are his teachings that I've learned myself through real world experience, running an online chat room community with 2 business partners, 50 plus employees, thousands and thousands of recurring members, from low ticket to mid ticket to high ticket over the last 6 years, high ticket selling and closing as well, and framing copy, writing blogs, writing newsletters, the whole shebang. I've done a little bit of everything. If you don't know the constraint of your business, you're the constraint. And if you're the constraint, you need to hire out somebody to tell you you're the constraint, figure out what the constraint is, and fix that hole in the bucket immediately so you can get back to more of what's working and better of what's working, and then doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on throwing money at what's working if there's no constraint, no hole in the bucket, and no opportunity loss and opportunity cost. Money in a business is not just made on the front end of sales or the initial buy. It is in the not having a chargeback, it is in the not having a refund, and it is in the happy customer leaving a review, word of mouth, spreading like wildfire, a good reputation, and then eventually all leads converting because they have built the dam break of trust, and anyone only buys because they have gotten to the point where they have perceived that what you offer or what you claim to offer is going to work. They trust that it's going to work for them. They trust that the desired outcome is going to happen. And they trust that based on previous clients and anybody who's bought from you and are happy, that it's going to also be for them. It's called the dam that builds up, and then the flood of purchasers and buyers, the flood waters of purchasers come through the dam break of trust. You need to build up so much trust in something that's already working. Go super hard on it. Shore up any holes in the bucket and make sure that your business is absolutely scaled like levels in every way possible. And if something dips down, sales, leads, traffic, conversions, churn, you need to bring that level back up and fix it so everything is basically operating at all levels. Your business is like a car. If something's faulty in the car, you need coolant, you need to fix that coolant before you do other things. When the light comes on, the red light or the tire light or the green light, whatever, the transmission light, you need to fix the constraint or other things get affected. Your business is no different. It is literally a car. Are you showing up and making sure that it runs in every metric possible? You might be the best in your industry at whatever you're the best at, but the business needs to be balanced. You need to be the best at what you're doing in your own company. CEO, CFO, CMO, C-suite level, whatever, vice president, president, manager, doesn't matter. Everything needs to be operating at peak efficiency to then go harder on the things that are already working. Very aggressive in this one, very passionate. I hope this has been beneficial. I've had a lot of experience in business. I love business, and all I care about is advertising, marketing, sales, and offers, and client experience. Catch you in the next one.